Welcome to another KamicarzCreations video. So I'm back in the shed, loving this rain. You should be able to hear it there on the tin shed. Give me a few days off from work, from my little business. But being retired from my other job is giving me these days off, which is excellent because I can get back in the shed and do some work. So I'm still working on the little 173 here. Full disclosure, I'll show you something silly that I did when I built this engine originally. I did overcome it, but I fixed the problem this morning with the purchase. You can see in the background there, I bought a Tool-X puller kit, which is absolutely brilliant. Now I can pull my own timing gears and lots of different things with that bit of hardware. I did look at a porta power and hydraulic system as well. I was going to make my own bench press or hydraulic press setup to press bearings and things like that. And I may still do that, but at this stage that little Tool-X gear has done the job. So I'll show you where I'm at, what I'm doing and what I did. And if you like this content, you like what I'm doing, you want to see more of what I do, want to help the channel out, hit that like button. I don't say that, I've started saying it recently, and really it's all about manipulation of how YouTube controls how things get seen. And I'd like this content to get out there. I'm no professional, I'm just sharing what I'm doing, learning on the way and sharing what I'm doing, and I get lots of good feedback from you out there, highlighting things that I may have done wrong or making suggestions of ways to do it better, and everyone benefits from that. Anyway, I'll show you where I'm at. This is the little Tool-X puller kit that I bought from just a local company that sells a lot of stuff. It's a bit like a Hare and Fours, but locally. Has similar sort of gear, but really good bit of kit. Now the best thing is this clamp here. Throw this other half on. But the best thing is that, that gets down over so many things and allows you to pull gears and pulleys and harmonic balances and the like off. Just that little bit of kit there. And here's the mechanism. Wind it down tight, and the little fine screw there, put some hydraulic pressure on it, even though it's a manual functioning thing, and does a good job. So I went down to buy that porta power and jack system this morning, and and as a consequence saw this. I thought that should help me out and do the job. I'll show you the silly thing that I did. So when I built this motor originally, I had access to an engineering workshop, and I put these timing gears and that on, and this timing gear on the crank, I actually put it on backwards. So the timing dot was over the back side of it, and that actually put everything 180 degrees out. I did transfer the dot. I came through here and transferred the dot so I could see it on the front, but again the dot should have been opposite over here. So with that little Tool-X gear, I pulled that off this morning and put it back on. This is pretty much size for size, little fine bit of interference, but I reckon it's size by size because it came off relatively easy and went back on pretty easy. So it's excellent to be able to do that type of thing in the shed. So I've now got the crank in. I haven't done any tensioning, but she's all spinning pretty good. She's all clean. All the caps and bearings are back on, and it's rotating quite nicely. So I've got to tension that up. But the next thing is, and I might show you the process, I've got to get this timing gear off the old cam, and I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do it with this gear, but then I've got to get it back onto that new cam. If I can't do it with the gear that I've got here, I might just run down the engine builder and press that back on so I can get that cam in as well. And then I've got to clean up all the pistons and stuff. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I've just gone with the same bit of gear that I used on doing the little timing gear on the crankshaft. I've just reversed these around. Usually you can grab down in tight places, but I've just reversed them around to be pulling on the whole face of that. And I could have used some legs, the 3 legs that are supplied, but I thought I'd go this way. So she's all set up, ready to pull, and I'm pretty sure she'll come off pretty easily. It's a little bit hard to see, but she's just sliding off. A little bit to go and it'll be all separated. So fairly happy with that. Good to be able to do that sort of stuff at home. Didn't have the gear before, and with my old job and having that engineering workshop, I just used to do everything in there, but I really want to become self-sufficient at home. So it wasn't cheap. I think this is about 300. Yeah, about 300 bucks, a bit over 315 bucks for this puller setup, but it's far, far the best puller I've ever bought. Spend the money, get a good tool, make the job easy. This is what we want to see. Cam timing basically done. I've tensioned all of the mains down now, and I whacked a heap of I think it's a graphite type lube that you get in the cam bearings and on the cam lobes, and been squirting plenty of oil into the galleries for the mains, just so they're nice and lubed and I can rotate it well. But that whole cam gear, the timing gear set, I did all of that ons and offs with that new puller setup that I bought. Worked really, had to think my way through a few things, especially pushing the gears back on, but it all worked, which was brilliant. So I've been down now to the bolt factory, and over in this bag of bolts here, I bought a whole heap of replacement bolts for the sump. I've gone with stainless bolts, flat washers and spring washers, and I already had the gear over here for the timing cover, so I need to put the seal in the timing cover, clean it all up, get it bolted on with a new gasket, and then I'll be ready to start looking at putting the sump back on, but it needs a good clean as well. But before that, I've got to clean up all these pistons, get all the carbon off them. I'll probably take all the rings off, give them a good clean, reassemble the rings back onto them, and slide them in. So guys, here it is, last one ready to go in. I had to go and buy a new piston ring compressor because my old one was just as old as I've had it ever since the first motor I built back in my early 20s, and it was a 6-cylinder 202, but the ratchet wouldn't work and I struggled with getting pistons in. Went and bought this new one and it is much easier. They're sliding in beautifully. So I've done them sort of 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 4, and just put the crank all the way to the bottom, slide her in, and then tap it up to meet with the crank and put the top cap on. But anyway, last one, ready to go in. There you go guys, stage 1 all done, everything's tensioned, all the rolling stock's in, new cam is basically all I changed. Cleaned all the engine out, gave it all a good clean down internally, externally, and basically changed those timing gears over and put a new cam in it and reassembled the thing all back together. Cleaned all the pistons up. It rotates absolutely beautifully with all the pistons in there. Just a nice firm tug, and no noises, no scrapes, which is good. Everything's really well lubed up. Good graphite, if that's what it is, the black lube that came with the cam, all over the cam lobes and cam bearings, and then just used engine oil in all of the conrod bearings and the main bearings. So all done, all in, not sealed up yet, so that's the next stage. Start cleaning some more parts, get the oil strainer in, get the sump on, but I think I'll put the timing cover on first so I can do all of the sump in one go, because it's a pain in the neck sealing that sump up. So that'll be a job for another day. Anyway, keep watching what I'm doing. Hit that like button if you find it's worthwhile. If you haven't done this stuff before, and believe me, I'm no professional, just having a go in the shed. Take care. Bye for now.